going to the movies. Hey everybody, to the movies. Dragon Movie Guy here. This is my very first episode of Before and After, where I go to a movie and I talk about 3 things I'm excited for in this movie before going in, and then after I come out, I tell you whether I was right, whether I was wrong, or whether I was just completely out there in left field. The movie I'm going to today is Tar, starring Cate Blanchett as Lydia Tar, a genius-level composer and conductor, classical music style. And the first thing is there's already a lot of Oscar buzz online. This movie is going to film festivals. I am very curious to see whether or not this film is actually worth the Oscar buzz, or if it's just hype mumbo jumbo. I'm curious because the cinematography for this film looks really good in the trailer, but the trailers are also very vague. The second thing, Cate Blanchett is an Oscar-nominated actress. I can't remember for what off the top of my head. I love her. She's done a lot of great stuff, and if she's going to be choosing a film that is getting a lot of Oscar buzz, it probably is warranted, and the ideas that she's going to bring to this role, quirky role, is it deeply dramatic, or is there a very human aspect to it? That also is something that's really driving me to see this film. The only other film that I've seen that reminds me of this film just from the trailers is Amadeus, which came out like 30 years ago, but the whole idea of a musical conductor who is so close to genius that he's close to madness, and you're never quite sure which one he is at the moment. I loved Amadeus. This film, Tar, kind of reminds me of that just going into it. The third thing, the cinematography in the trailer looks really good, like Oscar-worthy good. The first teaser trailer that came out for Tar was this really slow releasing smoke from her mouth. So you're playing with time a lot, and you play with different camera angles, camera shots, camera technology, compressing time, expanding time, all that kind of stuff. To see that in an Oscar-nominated type film, I'm curious to see whether or not that was just for the trailer or whether that works into the structure of the film itself. So I am really looking forward to seeing if you should actually go out to the theater or just wait till catching up on DVD or Blu-ray. I will go in, I'll come out, and I'll tell you everything I thought. Now, after the screening of Tar, and I have answers for all 3 questions that I had. Yes, number 1, it is absolutely worthy of all of the Oscar buzz. I totally get it now after seeing the film. I believe there will be a lot of Oscar nominations coming out of this film. Cate Blanchett for Best Actress, and probably Best Cinematography, and possibly Best Director. It is a lot of non-traditional, non-straight ahead. It's not a 3-act style movie. It is very character-driven. A lot of the conversations are really inside baseball. Beware that when you go to see this film, there is a lot of conversation about classical music. I was in band in high school, and even I was Mozart, Beethoven. Unless you're in that world, I would love to see the footnote references. Number 2, Cate Blanchett. Yes, she is brilliant in this film. It is absolutely worthy of an Oscar nomination. She basically disappears. You do not see Cate Blanchett, you see Lydia Tar on the screen. She doesn't do stereotypical actor things. Think Jim Carrey in Man on the Moon. That was a great performance, but he was method acting and in character all the time. I don't know if she was method acting, but she was brilliant. She absolutely disappears into this role. It will probably get an Oscar nomination. The third thing is the cinematography. It's very artsy-fartsy, but it also is artsy-fartsy for a reason. It is very visual, and it takes you into the mind of the character. We see the world through Lydia Tar's eyes. I know a lot of films say that, but this film especially really does nail that and doesn't beat you over the head with it, but does a very subtle job of putting you in the character's point of view, but not in a, holding a pipe up sort of thing. So those are the answers for the questions that I had going into this film. It is absolutely worth watching in theaters. It is very cinematic. There's only one other couple in the showing that I went to go see, so it wasn't anything to do with any kind of a crowd environment and seeing it in a crowd like you would with a horror film. Just taking in the sights and sounds. The surround sound design in this film is really well done. If you want a great character study and you don't mind not being a strictly 3-act film structure, it does take a while to get into it, and it is a lot of inside baseball when it comes to classical music, but it is absolutely worth watching. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Before and after is what I'm calling it. I'm trying to capture the energy of going to a movie and then the energy of kind of absorbing the movie post without it being a strict movie review. Let me know in the comments section down below whether or not you guys like this before and after style of video. I will hopefully be doing more of these. Let me know in the comments section, yes or no, if you like the before and after type format.